We continue now at the top of Daf Yomi Gemara from Mesechet Sanhedrin. This is Sanhedrin Daf 14a. And the previous Amud, the Gemara asked, is it really true that one person cannot give smicha? But we have an incident, a story that is told by Rav. Rav says that if not for Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava, Batzalu Dine Kanasos mi Yisrael, the laws of Kanas, the laws of fines, would be completely nullified from Klal Yisrael. And Rashi explains, Batzalu Dine Kanasos Dekevan Deleka Smicha Batlu, because without Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava, there would not have been smicha, and that would have caused it that they would have been nullified. Shepamachas Gazra Malchus Harisha Gezer al Yisrael, because there was one time when the Malchus Harisha, the government of Edom, of Rome, they decreed a decree against Klal Yisrael, Shekal HaSomech Yehareg, that anybody who would give smicha would be killed, V'chol HaNismach Yehareg, and anyone who would receive smicha would be killed. V'ir Shesomchen B'Teicharev, and any city where there was smicha would be destroyed. U'techumen Shesomchen Bohen Yayakru, and any boundaries where they gave smicha, they would be uprooted. And so Ma'asar Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava, what did Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava do? Halach V'yashav Lo Ben Shnei Harim Gedolim, he went and sat between two large mountains, Uvein Shtei Ayaros Gedolos, between two big cities, Uvein Shnei Techumei Shabbos, between two separate boundaries, Bein Usha l'Shafarim, between Usha and Shfarim. The point is this way: he would not put anyone else in danger. He was an area where there were no people around. V'samach sham chamisha zakenim, and he gave smicha there to 5 elders. Ve'elohen, and they are as follows: Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Lazar ben Shamua. Those are the 5 elders that he gave smicha to. Rav Avia Mosef Afra, Rav Nechemya. Rav Avia adds, even Rav Nechemya was among them. Kevan sheikiru oivehem bohen, once their enemies recognized what they had done, Amar lohen, so he said to them, Benim, my children, Rutzu, you should run away. Amru lo, so they said back to him, those that had received smicha said back to him, Rebbe, Matei Alecha, Rebbe, what's going to be with you? Amar lohen, he said to them, Hareini muta lifneihem ke'evin she'ein lahofchem, I am in front of them like a stone that has no one can overturn, that is like a stone that no one can overturn. The point is that he was old, he wouldn't be able to get away anyhow. Amru, they said, Lo zazu misham, they didn't move from there, Ad bo shalosh meos lunbios shel barzel, until they had pierced him with 300 spears of iron, v'yasa'u kechavar, and they made him like a sieve. And so in any case, the question over here is, it seems that one person can give smicha. And the Gemara answers to that, Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava, acharini have b'hadei, Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava, there were others that were with him. V'haidelo chashav lahu, and the reason why they don't count them, misham kavodu, that's because of his honor, so they only mention misham kavodu Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava, because of the kavod of Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava, that's why they only mention Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava. But the Gemara continues, Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava Samche, is it really true that Rabbi Meir got smicha from Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava? V'amar Rabba bar bar Chana Rabbi Yochanan, but Rabba bar bar Chana said that Rabbi Yochanan said, Kol ha'omer Rabbi Meir lo samcha Rabbi Akiva, anyone who says that Rabbi Meir did not get smicha from Rabbi Akiva, Eino Elato, is simply making a mistake. It was Rabbi Akiva that gave Rabbi Meir the smicha. And the Gemara says, Samche Rabbi Akiva, it's true, Rabbi Akiva did give him smicha, v'lo kiblo. However, at that time, Rabbi Meir was very young and the people did not accept him. Samche Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava, but when Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava gave him smicha, the kiblo, at that time they accepted him. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi says, Ein smicha b'chutz la'aretz, there is no smicha outside of Eretz Yisrael. Ma'ayin smicha, what does it mean that there's no smicha? Ilema delo daini dine kanasas klal b'chutz la'aretz, if you say that it means that we don't judge cases of fines, cases of kanas at all in chutz la'aretz, that's what Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi means when he says there's no smicha outside of Eretz Yisrael. But we learned in a Mishnah, Sanhedrin noheges, bein ba'aretz uvein b'chutz la'aretz, the Sanhedrin can conduct affairs, whether in Eretz Yisrael or in chutz la'aretz. Ella, rather, what does it mean to say, Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi means the lo samchinan b'chutz la'aretz, that we don't give smicha in chutz la'aretz, we don't give smicha outside of Eretz Yisrael. The Gemara says, Pshita somchin b'chutz la'aretz v'nismachin ba'aretz. It's obvious if the people giving the smicha are outside of Eretz Yisrael and the people receiving the smicha are in Eretz Yisrael. Ho'amrinan the lo, we already said that's not good. Ela somchin ba'aretz, but what about the other way around? Let's say the people giving smicha, they're in Eretz Yisrael, v'nismachin b'chutz la'aretz, and the people receiving smicha, they're outside of Eretz Yisrael. What would be the halach in that case? And the Gemara says, Tashma, coming here the following proof. Did Rabbi Yochanan have a mitzvah led Rav Shimon bar Abba? Because Rabbi Yochanan was distressed regarding Rav Shimon bar Abba, to lo have a gabayu delismechet, that he wasn't by them to get the smicha. And Rabbi Shimon ben Zayred v'chad de'imei, Rav Shimon ben Zayred and the one accompanying him, umanu, and who was that? Rabbi Yonasan ben Achmai, that was Rabbi Yonasan ben Achmai. V'amri la, some have the version Rabbi Yonasan ben Achmai v'chad de'imei, that it's Rabbi Yonasan ben Achmai and the one who accompanied him, umanu Rabbi Shimon ben Zayred, and who was that? That was Rabbi Shimon ben Zayred. In any case, whichever whichever individuals, whichever version of accounting for the individuals you take. The story is Chad Have Gabayu Samchu, the one who was present with them in Eretz Yisrael, they gave that one smicha. V'Chad Lo Have Gabayu Lo Samchu, and the one that was not present with them, they did not give smicha. And so you see from both of these incidents, you see that we do not give smicha even in a situation where those giving the smicha are in Eretz Yisrael, but if those receiving the smicha are outside of Eretz Yisrael, that is problematic. And the Gemara continues, Rabbi Chanina, Reb Hoshia, Rabbi Chanina and Reb Hoshia have a kamishtakid Rabbi Yochanan lemismechinu. Rabbi Yochanan was trying to give them smicha, but lo have him istaya milsa, he was not successful. He wasn't able to convene the people necessary. Something would always prevent him from being able to give the smicha. Have a kamitztar tuva, so he was very distressed about this. Amrulei, they said to him, Lo nitztar mar, the master should not be distressed. Da anon mi de beis Eli kasinan, because we come from the house of Eli. The Amr Reb Shmuel bar Nachman, Amr Reb Yonasan, because Reb Shmuel bar Nachman says that Reb Yonasan says, Minayin she'ein nismachin lebeis Eli. From where do we know that those who come from the house of Eli should not receive smicha? Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, Lo yeh zaken beveischa kol hayamim, there won't be an elder in your house all of the days. Now, what does that pasuk mean? My zaken, what does it mean that there won't be an elder in the house of Eli? Zaken mamish. If you say that it means that no one's going to live to an old age, but that's already written in the pasuk. It says in the pasuk, "Kol marvis beischa yamusu anashim." It says they're all going to die as young men. Why would the pasuk repeat itself? Ella, rather, what does the pasuk mean when it says Lo yazaken beveischa kol hayamim? It means to say smicha, means to say that no one will receive smicha. And the Gemara continues, Rabbi Zera have him etamer lemismechei. Rabbi Zera, he was hiding, he did not want to receive smicha. The Amar Rebbe Lazar, because Rebbe Lazar says, Liolam have a kabel v'kayim, a person should always keep himself in obscurity, and that will allow the person, if the person is humble, he lives in obscurity, so then he'll be able to live a long time. But then, Kevan Deshama lahad Amar Rebbe Lazar, but then Rabbi Zera heard of that which Rebbe Lazar said, Ein Adam Ola legadula, a person does not rise to greatness, Ela imkein mochlin lo al kol avonosav, unless he was forgiven for all of his sins. So there is a benefit to greatness. There is a benefit to smicha. So then, Amsi anafshe, so then he presented himself that he would be able to receive the smicha. And the Gemara continues, Ki samchu Rabbi Zera, when they gave smicha to Rabbi Zera, sharu lehachi, they sang to him as follows: Lo kachal v'lo sharak v'lo pirchas. She doesn't wear blue eyeshadow. She doesn't wear rouge. She doesn't dye her hair. V'yalas chen, and she's still very beautiful. The idea is that without any kind of adornments, without any makeup, the woman is beautiful. So to Rabbi Zera, the song was trying to say how even without any adornments, Rabbi Zera was fit for this. And the Gemara continues along the same lines, Ki samchu Rabbi Amil Rabbi Asi, when they gave smicha to Rabbi Ami and Rabbi Asi, Sharu luhachi, they sang to them as follows: Kol min din smochu lana. Anyone like these should receive smicha. But lo asis smochu lana, but they should not receive smicha. The following: Lo misarmitin, not among the rags, v'lo misarmisin, and not among the distorters, v'amri lo machmisin, and some say not among the robbers, v'lo mitormisin, and not among the tramplers. And Rashi explains, Kechal lo inayim, again, Kechal is the eyeshadow, Shrak leponim, that's used for the face, Pirchas is l'seir, that's the dyeing of the hair, Shirhu lekala no shamalas chen below kisha. The point of the song is, it's for a beautiful kala, that she's beautiful even without adornments. And then the Gemara said, Kol min din kol kamo elu, anyone like these, v'chayotze ben, anyone similar to these people, hayu somchin lanu sheru'uyim heim l'smicha, them will give smicha to, they are fit for smicha. And sarmisin means to say lashon hafchanim, those who turn things over, they distort the tamei haTorah. And sarmitin is lashon samartot, kolomar shein nosnim tam hagan ledivreim. Sarmitin refers to those who don't give a good reason for what they are saying. And chamisin, the robbers, chamsonin shemonin milomar tamei Torah, they rob in the sense that they refuse to say the reasons for the Torah. And Rashi says on tormisin lo isparish, it's not explained. And the Gemara continues, Rabbi Avo ki hava osimi misifta lebekesa. Rabbi Avo, when he went from the yeshiva to the house of the Caesar, Nafki Matronisa de Bekesar, the noblewomen of the Bekesar, they came out to Misharian Lay, and they sang to him as follows: Rabba Diame, great one of his people, Medabarna de Umse, leader of his nation, Botsina de Nahora, an illuminating candle, Brich Metayach L'Shalom, may your arrival be blessed in peace. And the Gemara continues at the two dots. The Mishnah said, Arifas Egla Bishlosha. That's Egla. Arufa is done with 3 people. This is talking about the breaking of the calf's neck. When somebody is found dead and we don't know exactly who the murderer was, we measure which city is closest, and then we do the procedure of the Egla Arufa, and that's with 3 judges. And the Gemara says, Tanu Rabban, and the rabbis taught, V'yatzu zekei necha v'shoftecha. It says by Egla Arufa that your elders and your judges will come out. And we understand from that, Zekeinecha Shnayim, Shoftecha Shnayim. Zekeinecha means two, Shoftecha means two, Ve'in Bezin Shakal, you can't have an even number on a court. Mosifan Alei and Orechot, so we add another one, Harekan Chamisha, that's a total of 5 judges, Divrei Rabbi Yehuda, that's the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Shimon says, Zekeinecha Shnayim. We don't darshan from the word Shoftecha, we just use Zekeinecha. Zekeinecha means 2 judges, Ve'in Bezin Shakal, you can't have an even number on a Bezin. Mosifan Aleihem Orechot, we add one other judge, Harekan Shlosha, that's a total of 3 judges. And the Gemara says, Rabbi Shimon, Shoftecha, my avidle. What does Rabbi Shimon do with the word Shoftecha? He's not darshaning it here in the way that Rabbi Yehuda is. He learns that to say that they should be from the special ones of your judges, meaning to say from the elders of the Sanhedrin Gedola, of the great Sanhedrin, that's where they should come from. That's what Rabbi Shimon does with the word Shoftecha. And the Gemara continues with Rabbi Yehuda. Now, Rabbi Yehuda, where does he learn miyuchadin shebeshoftecha? Miziknei zikeinecha. He learns it from the fact that it says zikeinecha. It didn't have to say zikeinecha. It could have said ziknei. That's where he learns that out. And so, therefore, again, Rabbi Yehuda has the extra shoftecha. That's how he gets 5 judges. Miziknei zikeinecha nafka. Again, he learns it out from the fact that it says v'yatzu zikeinecha, and it could have said ziknei. And the Gemara continues with Rabbi Shimon, but Rabbi Shimon says to that, imi ziknei, if you're going to learn just from ziknei zikeinecha, have amina ziknei hashuk. Well, if it would have said ziknei, I would have thought it could be any elders out from the marketplace. Doesn't even have to be from any Sanhedrin. Kasav rachmana zikeinecha, so that's why it does have to say zikeinecha. V'ksiv zikeinecha, and if it only said zikeinecha, have amina Sanhedrin katana. I would have thought from the smaller Sanhedrin. Kasav rachmana v'shoftecha, so that's why it still needs to say v'shoftecha, mimiyuchadin shebeshoftecha, again, from the unique among your judges, from those from the Sanhedrin Gedola, and so that brings us back to exactly where we were. Rabbi Shimon says shoftecha is needed from yuchadin shebeshoftecha. Rabbi Yehuda said it's not needed. That can all be learned from ziknei zikeinecha, and therefore you can use shoftecha to say that we need a total of 5 judges. And the Gemara continues with Rabbi Yehuda. Now, Rabbi Yehuda, why doesn't he say like Rabbi Shimon? Why doesn't he say that if it would have just said ziknei, it means the ziknei hashuk? And to that, the Gemara now gives a new answer. For Rabbi Yehuda, Gamar ziknei ziknei. Rabbi Yehuda learns a gezeira shava from the word ziknei. Mi v'samchu ziknei ha'edas yadeim. It says that the ziknei ha'ed are going to lean their hands, and so there malahalan miyuchadin shebe'eda. Just like over there, we understand that it means the miyuchadin, the special ones among the congregation. Afkan miyuchadin shebezekeinecha. Here also means the miyuchadin, and therefore you couldn't have said that it means the ziknei hashuk. That's why Rabbi Yehuda disagrees with Rabbi Shimon in that regard. But the Gemara says 1 second. Iyolif, if he's already learning from the gezeira shava, so leilif kula mehasam, then just learn the whole thing from that gezeira shava. As Rashi over here says, Ligmar Lakula Milsa, Vafilo Minyana, once you have a Gzer Shava, even Minyana de Chamisha, even the fact that Rabbi Yehuda says 5 judges, may Hasam Tepik, we can learn it from there also. Datanya Leil, because we already learned earlier with regards to the case of, with that case of Smicha, V'samchu Shnayim, Ziknei Shnayim, we already have 5 judges over there. So if you're learning the Gzer Shava, that should be the limud. You don't need the original limud over here to learn out from Zikeinecha and Shoftecha at all. As the Gemara says, Zikeinecha v'Shoftecha, Lamali, what do we even need Zikeinecha and Shoftecha for, according to Rabbi Yehuda at all, if you have that gezeira shava? And so the Gemara says, forget the gezeira shava. The reason why we're not going to learn out ziknei hashuk elavav v'shoftecha liminyana. Rather, it's actually we have an extra vav as well, according to Rabbi Yehuda. That vav and v'shoftecha, that comes for the count, and so therefore it could be Rabbi Yehuda completely agrees with Rabbi Shimon about ziknei zikeinecha with regards to ziknei hashuk, that you need all of these psukim, but that extra vav, that's used to say there's additional judges, and that's how Rabbi Yehuda comes to 5 judges. And the Gemara continues, Rabbi Shimon. Now, Rabbi Shimon, what does he respond in terms of the vav? Vav lo darish, he doesn't darshan the vav, and so therefore that is the basis of the dispute between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon. But the Gemara continues, if you're darshaning vavs, elameata, but according to that, v'yatzu shnayim, umodadu shnayim, so you have the vav by v'yatzu, you have the vav by umodadu, so those should also add. So you should have another 2, you should have another 2, and so if you're going to add 2, so instead of having a total of 5, you should have Rabbi Yehuda hare tisha. According to Rabbi Yehuda, you're going to add 4, 5 plus 4 is a total of 9. And Rabbi Shimon Shiva, according to Rabbi Shimon, you're not going to have a total of 3 judges, you should add another 4, it should be a total of 7. So what do they do again with v'yatzu umadadu? And the Gemara answers to that, ahumi boile l'chidetanya, they need v'yatzu and umadadu for something else, for what's taught in the following brisa. V'yatzu, it says that they go out, hein v'lo shluchan, they have to go out, they can't send messengers. Umadadu, and then it says they have to measure, and that means shafilo nimtza, even if the corpse is found And Rashi explains, Ela liolam lo gamar gzeira shava. Again, really, Rabbi Yehuda does not learn that gzeira shava. V'shoftecha l'miyuchad in Itzrich, and it's true that shoftecha is needed to say that it's the special judges from the Sanhedrin Gedola. Uminyana miribuya devav, and really he learns his extra numbers of judges from that extra vav, and we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Yudalid Amid Beis.